Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. I just want to talk a little bit about like the current situation in Canada and in like other Western countries. We're pretty much trapped in the grid. I used to work full time prior to getting pregnant, and like even back then, 2019, no, I worked in 2020. 2020 was the last year that I worked full time because I had my son during the pandemic, and I decided to be a stay-at-home mom and take care of him. Even prior to having my son, back in 2019, like even further back, you always required a double income to be able to afford like to pay bills. When I first moved back to Canada after living in Ireland for 17 years, it was 2015, and like rent was pretty expensive, but like I worked full time. I was by myself for a little bit, and I could afford to pay rent, groceries, internet, and phone bill by myself, but everything was like super tight. Then like when my ex moved over to be with me, I could afford to get a car then because we were sharing like food, rent, we were sharing all those bills. And so I got my car then, and then, you know, you're caught up in like the debt cycle. You know, you're working full time, all your money is going to like bills and servicing loans and stuff like that. So I'm lucky that when I had my son and I was on mat leave was kind of around the same time that my debt ended. So like I paid my car off, so I own my car like fully right now, and I paid off my photography loan. So currently though, we're a single income with our son, and it's like extremely difficult. So we were lucky to get my old apartment back that I used to have, and we're paying like less than market rent. If we had to pay market rent, not a chance. But we were lucky in that respect. That's the only way we're able to do this, even though like we are trapped. If like our apartment isn't really big enough for our family, but we have to make do because that is all we can afford, and that's even at below market rent. I mean, everybody knows that like there's like a cost of living crisis in Canada right now, and I think in other countries, Australia, maybe like New Zealand as well. Housing market is about to crash. Like people are just like off their rockers, like with like the cost of everything. Groceries like doubled in price like in the space of like 3 or 4 years. Like it was insanity. So we're trapped right now because like we have to accrue debt just to service day-to-day costs. So I know everyone says like you want to go off grid, you gotta like get out of debt, but like right now it is nearly impossible. And even if I wanted to go back to work and I put my son in childcare, that would eat up like 3/4 of my salary. So to only gain like a couple $100s a month would not actually get us anywhere. I don't know how long this is gonna go on. I mean, they're trying to like reduce the cost of groceries, but you know, they can reduce inflation, but prices are never gonna go back to where they were. And income growth in Canada is basically stagnant. I mean, if you see like the graph of like house prices to disposable income, friggin' insanity. So I actually don't know how we're gonna get out of this trapped situation, even when like I go to work. Maybe in 2 years. Now I have to wait 2 years until my son goes to school, and even then I won't be able to work like a 40-hour week because like I'm still his primary caregiver, and the school schedule does not align with full-time jobs, especially not in this city, because all of the jobs in this city are shift work, and it's bullshit. I don't like it at all. I feel like most employers and most jobs, especially in this part of the country, do not like value family time at all. So I don't know, we are trapped financially. We're stuck in the debt rut. We are stuck in our apartment. We have like reduced our costs to like bare bones. Like we don't really eat meat. We like our groceries, we had to scale back. We eat like a lot of like staples like pasta, beans, rice, stuff like that. I'll eat like chickpeas for like protein. I eat a lot of peanut butter sandwiches, like, and I'm not doing this for like, oh whoa, feel sorry for me. It's just, it's really hard if you are a family with young children and you want to get off grid. It's like nearly impossible because you have to get out of the debt cycle first. And if you don't have a supportive family or like a nest egg or a safety net, you can't. Like, and of course in Western society, like most of these places are built on a grid system. They're also urban sprawl. They're built where you are car dependent. So if you live in like a big city like Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, whatever, you can live without a car. Here, you can't. It's like hard. But at least my car's already paid. The only thing I have is like gas and insurance. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas of ways of escaping the grid. And when I say the grid, I don't just mean like utilities, because usually that's what the grid is, like from a original perspective, the grid, on grid. But I mean like in the cycle of life where you're trapped in the debt, you're trapped with utility bills, you're trapped with like everything. We've like swapped out as much as we can, and we've reduced as much as we can our costs, but it's still extremely difficult. And especially with young children. If we were like child free, that's why you see on YouTube the people who are off grid either have like kids who are like grown and like, you know, or like teenagers, or they're like adults, or they're people who just don't have kids. But if you have kids, you're stuck in this system. But I will never give up. I am always trying to find ways of escaping the system and getting that simple. Isn't it strange how like all you want is like a simple life, and it's like impossible. We're like forced to live in these overcomplicated lives, and it's extremely hard to escape. But if you have ideas, or if you've done things yourself, or if you have kids and you're off grid, hit me up in the comments below, because I want to hear all your stories and secrets and ideas. It's all about like sharing experience and seeing where we can go from there. But yeah, insanity right now. But thanks a million for watching. If you did like this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel and enjoying the content. And I will catch you again on the next vid.